Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and we're back with some more Crossout, and today, we have, well, I don't even know what this is. It is the ugliest thing I've ever made. I don't know, they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, I'm beholding this now and I still think it's ugly. So this was originally based on the Overlord tank. For people who have played Command & Conquer Generals, you might recognize the Overlord as... well, it's that big tank with two barrels. Obviously, the iconic mammoth tank of every Command & Conquer game. In Generals, it belongs to China, or the Chinese faction, and they have their version of it. So it is a quad-tracked tank, and this is sort of a mini-lord, not a full-size Overlord, it's just a mini-lord. So it has 4 small tracks, and it has 2 88mm cannons. I did think about putting 100mm cannons on here, but I did actually want a little bit more ammo on this. In fact, I've just realized I forgot to put something on, so I do actually need to remove something first. Alright, that fuel barrel, not going to need that for this, and I'm going to put another ammo pack on there. That should give us 16 rounds of ammo for each gun. Now, the left gun is on the left mouse button, and the right gun is on the right mouse button. So, as you can tell, this is a PvP build, and at 4,248 power score, this is going to get into some pretty high-level battles. So, let's jump into a battle and see what's what. Alright, here we go. On the, I believe this is the industrial map. So, one thing to take note of, the guns are spaced fairly far apart, so we're aiming at something close to the vehicle. We're going to have a little bit of an issue with incidents where the guns don't actually point where I want them to. Right, there's an enemy, and 1 shot away, 2 shots away. Oh, we've got a kill assist though. That's not too bad. Alright, got enemies around the corner there. Alright, just poking out. Hopefully they do come this way. We are ready for them. I don't know if they're going to come out though. Alright, well, let's follow this guy in then. And there's 1 shot out. And the other one, both missed. There we go, there's another one. Oh, those are hurricanes! Oh, jeez, didn't see those missiles until right at the end there. Yeah, homing missiles still a problem, unfortunately. You don't really, I guess, sort of know they're coming until you see them at the last second. Still not something I'm a big fan of, unfortunately. All that's left is this guy here on cap. That's an interesting loadout. It's a buggy that sort of looks like it's facing backwards. Like, if you look at it this way, it looks like this is the way it's facing. But in actual fact, it's facing that way. So, it's an elaborate ruse there. Not sure if it's going to pay off. That's weird though, he has a powerful engine mounted in there. Not something I would go for with a buggy. It doesn't really help you all that much. A light engine might actually be better here. And he's dead. Alright, as we saw in the last match also, lag still playing a part. You can see the vehicle sort of jittering about just a little bit. And it seems like my ping has actually gotten worse since the last time I played, which is not good. But, yeah. So normally in this sort of vehicle I'd be going up there. Right, up onto the ledges or the cliffs surrounding the base. But with somebody on the other team running hurricanes or even pyres, it's not really an ideal situation, since those homing rockets can really do some damage at very long range. Now, I'm just going to shunt that bot out of the way to stop him messing around with our teammate over there. Don't even know if that's a bot with a name like that. So just coming around to this side. Hopefully we can set up an ambush here. Yes, it really doesn't help that really having a bit of an issue with lag right now. Alright, just go there. Just 1 hit, and another one. 2 hits. That does look like somebody mounting cannons up there, so if he's going to keep firing at them, let's just get another shot out. And another one. Don't appear to have hit anything there. Might have just hit the ground just in front of him. It's just we don't have the speed to run around them, so that's not something we want to do. Alright, we've lost most of the front of the vehicle. And that guy's got shotguns. With our guns pointing towards the ground, there's not much we can do. Right. So, I'm really not happy with the state of the game right now, with Hurricanes and Pyres really just being... And I rarely get to say this about weapons, but really just being overpowered. And it's not so much with the damage that they do per se, it's the fact that they home in on targets with such a high level of accuracy with that amount of damage. And they don't seem to really have much of a reload penalty or anything like that to really balance them out. So it really just comes down to who can spot the target first and get a shot off. And since, of course, they home in independent of their user... Oh, both shots missing there. Alright, I'm going to get to cover now. They can actually just hit people around corners as well. Which is not good. Obviously good for the person using it, but not so good for anybody else. Just trying to put some shots into this guy over here. He's got a fire launcher. He's only got one. I'm aware we're being hit in the side now, so we've just lost one of our guns. But he's going to expose cabin. Come on, let me get one more shot out. Nah, that's not going to happen. So, interesting build there with simply a very simple truck with autocannons, which of course does work. Yeah, so really not happy with the way homing missiles work in this game. I mean, the whole fire and forget method of it just makes hit and runs far too easy to do with them. Ideally, I would like to see some changes being made to make them a little bit more fair, either by giving people countermeasures or some means of deflecting missiles. After all, they do explosive damage, which, as you see with cannons, can do massive amounts of damage to parts on your vehicle. But ideally, I would like to see some sort of change, maybe in the sense that you have to stay stationary in order to guide them. For example, moving. Not if you get pushed around, per se, but if you just move, that it loses the lock. That could be one possible solution. The other one being... perhaps maintaining a line of sight on the enemy, like you actually have to aim at them constantly for it to hit the target. At the moment, the only real balancing factor is their slow speed. They take a very long time to actually hit the target, which some people might view as fair, but to me, that's not enough since you have no warning that they're even coming. See, many of you might have seen me playing a game called Armored Warfare recently on the channel, and that game actually features... There we go. As I was talking about them, I got killed by them. That game actually features anti-tank guided missiles, and one thing that happens is when you have a missile fired at you, you get a warning, and you can actually release smoke grenades to block line of sight, and that can actually cause the missiles to lose lock. As you just saw right there, missiles going around a corner because of the splash damage. They don't even need to hit you directly to do damage. So it really just makes things far too simple, especially once you've got a hurricane launcher. So yeah, showing off a build turned into a little bit of a rant about guided missiles in this game. I hope the next change, or the next patch, rather, for this closed beta, does do something about that. Because at the moment, it really makes all other builds a little bit obsolete. Which is a little bit sad, because I like the creativity in this game, I really do. As you've seen, I don't really build things that are super optimal at that point in time. So if you're here to look at how to build the best build in Crossout at that point in time, it's not really something I'm interested in doing. I build things that I find creative and that I find interesting. And so that's why I build things the way they do. They don't always work. I'm well aware that they don't always work. In some cases they do, in some cases they don't. But ultimately, the builds I do are there for entertainment rather than pure optimal gameplay. Because if that was the case, if I was doing optimal builds right now, the last 4 videos would have all been Pyre launchers and Hurricane launchers. Because right now, that's basically the fastest way to win a match, is to have a bunch of those. They do have their weaknesses. They are very very much suited to medium and long range. At short range, you need specific angling to make them actually hit the target. For example, mounting them underneath the chassis, which in my mind shouldn't actually work. But you can mount them underneath the actual frame to make them fire directly at a target instead of arcing around. And to me, that really just spoils the game a little bit, because you can currently do that. Not because it's not fun anymore, it just means that a lot of builds just don't become useful. So, yeah, I want to see that being changed soon enough. But anyway, before I go, I'm just going to quickly run through the build with you. These are two 88mm cannons, as you saw. This is a truck cabin. And that gives us 11 points of energy, which allows us to just run 2 cannons, but also allows us to run, let me just move that out of the way, a powerful engine underneath there, which is very useful for accelerating the vehicle, especially a tracked one such as this. And of course, if you want to armor up the vehicle even more, you don't need to use van roofs, you can use truck sides or truck doors, which weigh a lot more. But something like a powerful engine and a truck cabin will give you enough tonnage to run those as well. So if you want to put more armor and more structure onto this, you absolutely can. This has not reached its mass limit in any way, so it definitely can carry more than it currently is. So just bear in mind that, yeah, this build is not really as good as it could be yet, because it has a lot more parts that it's missing. But for now, for something with a 55 part limit and at 4,000 power score, it still is pretty good. You can do some decent damage with it, but you just can't get away from missiles and things fast enough, so that is a bit of a downside. And its obvious weak spots being the sides rather than the front. So front towards enemy with this one, that's something you're going to have to do. But anyway, this is the Mini-Lord, or the Mini-Overlord, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like, and comment down below if you have any questions about the game, if you have any questions about this build, and have you tried a similar build before? Let me know down in the comments below. And of course, this video has been a bit ranty in terms of just talking about guided missiles like Pyres and Hurricanes. So if you have any thoughts about those, don't forget to leave those down in the comments below. I do read them, so I will probably get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. My name is Panzer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.